Hey there, guys. So this is the start of a new campaign on IL2. I'll be flying the I16, and we will be flying as Junior Lieutenant Fedot Gusarov, who's flying in the 495th. I believe it's like an air defense fighter unit. Uh, there's only a couple options for the I16, and this one seemed like it was the most interesting. But we'll see how it goes. I'm playing this with Ironman mode, so if my pilot dies or is captured, he will be out of the war, and that will be the end of the run. Here, I'll show my settings in a second here as far as... So for example, we're going to set these all random. I think that kind of makes the game a little more interesting. And of course, we're going to start on the runway. And here are the engine difficulty settings. I like using markers just because I guess I'm lazy. I don't like looking at a map, but you end up doing some map looking anyway, but it's just nice to have something on screen. I think at some point I'll probably transition to removing it, but for now this is a good way to get in the air. I also thought about restricting what I could and couldn't take on the plane, but man, I don't know if you've ever flown this thing, but 4 machine guns is just not cutting it. Especially in this case, we're doing a intercept mission against bombers. I figured the cannons would probably be appropriate. I think in real life, the cannons were pretty rare on the I-16, especially this early in the war. But here we go. So here we are on the runway. I really like this plane. I know it's not good per se, but I just like it. It's fun. I like that it doesn't have a canopy. I like the way it handles. It's pretty forgiving in a lot of ways. It's twitchy, but once you get the hang of what you can and can't do, it's pretty easy to fly. There are a few annoying things about it, as you will see here in a second. The landing gear takes an insane amount of time to retract and deploy. I think it's something like 50 cranks of the little hand turn thing, which you'll hear it here in a minute. It's painfully slow. But besides that, I think the armament's pretty good. You can give it these 220 millimeters with a decent ammo pool. I think it's like 90 shots per gun. So I think I did a pretty good job of trying to break up this bomber formation, but unfortunately one of the machine gunners strikes my pilot, injuring him, which is why his vision is sort of dark. Sort of muffles the screen a little bit. So yeah, I think I was the only part of my unit that was really attacking them there. The rest of them are kind of tangling in that big fur ball with those BF-109s, which is what I'm circling back around to sort of assist with now. So in this game, if your pilot's injured, either from like in that case, getting hit by a machine gun bullet, or if you land really hard or do anything that would concuss your pilot, if you injured that way too, he's got to go to the hospital and he'll miss out on a few missions. So I've got that to look forward to, but I was hoping to just go back and get a kill or two, so that I don't fall too far behind my unit. Here I'm trying to chase down one of these BF-109s. These are the E7 models, which are one of the older versions. I say older, they're still far superior to the I16, but as you can see here, they're just so much faster is the main thing. Like, I can turn with them no problem, but if they want to scoot out of there, there's not a whole lot I could do to stop them. Making sure that nobody's on my tail there. Yeah, as you can see, I'm having a hard time even catching up to these guys. I think Mr. Hilmar here might be a good one to go after, but I sort of messed up my trajectory there. And this guy, I feel like I could have caught, but I just didn't get my trajectory correct. I didn't intercept him very well. What's up behind him here? There's just no chance. And away he goes. See, I chased this guy for a minute and realized I'm not going to catch him. And turn back around and see if I can engage anybody else. Part of the problem is if he's going back to land and I keep chasing him, I'm going to chase him into enemy territory, which means if I go down or if I bail, that's dead meat for the run. So I know I'm not going to catch that guy, so at this point I'm thinking I'll just go back and land. Which would be the smart thing to do, but as you can see on the map, there are two bandits coming my direction. And I'm thinking in my head at this point, if these are fighters, I'm not going to be able to outrun them if they, stick on me. So maybe my best chance is just to fight them head on. And then I see that actually those are some large aircraft, and I might have a pretty good chance of taking one of them down. So I come down, try and get another 6. And pull maybe a little bit too hard here, but we manage. You see my cannon ammo's pretty low, but I get some good hits in. Starts losing altitude. It's always a good sign. Back over on him for just one last little volley before I F off. Because I figure he's probably going down at this point, but if I'm going to leave anyway, I might as well use the ammo. And that's my cue to get out of here. So I'll go ahead and skip ahead and you can see my imperfect landing. So here we are back at the airbase. I come in a little too fast, and this is sort of where my inexperience is showing. I miss a couple things with this plane. Like, for example, you're supposed to close the inlet cowl and the oil radiator, which I don't do here, but luckily it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I come in a little too hot, so I'm trying to bleed some speed off and circle back around. And here you could see, or you could hear, the landing gear going down and just how terribly long it takes. So it's something you really have to plan ahead. In fact, on the I16, there's a visual indicator you get right below. I don't know if you see the little track that I'm looking down at there. These two circles, you could see them converging towards the top. Once it comes up there, that's how you know your landing gear is deployed. But yeah, I'm kind of unsteady. I realize how cockeyed I am coming down, but we manage. I actually had my throttle a little too high when I was coming down here. I should have cut it by now. But yeah, I start applying the brake, and eventually we come to a stop. So, I'd say all in all, that was not a bad mission. We survived, we took down a plane, so I'll definitely take that. Here you can see the trajectory that we flew over the map. Well behind our own lines, which is nice. It gives you a bit of a safety net in case you have to bail. You don't end your entire run. There we see, of course, that we were injured, which is to be expected. And we get a medal for something. And then good old Stalin gives us 1,000 rubles for shooting down a plane. Looks like we lost 2 squad members. That's not great, but on to the next one. So thank you for watching, and I guess stay tuned for the next episode. Until next time.